Hey everyone, welcome to DKFC, where we're talking Week 32 in the Premier League. I'm Wade McElwain, U.S. Sports Ambassador for DraftKings. I'm joined by DK writer Jamie Hinks, Tyrone Atkins, and Andy Davies. And in this segment, we're talking about top 11s. We're talking about the top 11 people that you would put together. It's, of course, playing football on DraftKings, goal, defenders, midfielders, forwards, and utility players to round out your team. I'm going to ask all these guys who's on their team. Who are in your top 11? I'm going to start out in goal. Tyrone, who's your goalkeeper this week?
Okay, right. You've got... I'll ask the table. We should all know who takes the most shots in the Premier League. Which
Tottenham.
striker? Which striker in particular?
Harry Kane.
Who's he playing against?
Simon Mignolet.
That's right. So I've gone for Millionaire. That's right, because I think Liverpool aren't going to have a particularly bad day against Spurs, but Millionaire is definitely going to be busy. He's going to have to be at his nimble best, which isn't often, but he will be. He will be in front of the TV cameras this Saturday evening. So I think Millionaire and 3.7 thousand, not bad value, but I think he's going to get some points.
Very good that Tyrone started with a little quiz. Fun little way to start this out. Jamie, who's in your goal?
Well, I think this is the goalkeeper that you dislike, the one of you two dislikes the most, John Ruddy.
Me?
Oh, yeah.
It's me. I dislike him.
John Ruddy, he's going to keep a clean sheet, he's going to get a win, he's going to get a couple of saves. Mignolet is not very good, sorry.
No, he's not. I agree.
I don't think he's going to get... But yeah, Ruddy, 3,900. I think he's on a bit too expensive, but I couldn't resist him this week.
Ruddy,
Right.
very good choice. Andy?
My team, I've gone for an angle this week.
Oh, that's right, you
I've
talked
gone for, I call them the dog fighters, this team. I'm only
untouchables is what I would
picking, the untouchables. I'm only picking players from the four teams that I think are battling those three spots. So it's Sunderland, Norwich, and Newcastle players.
Oh, risky.
This shit gets
Interesting.
real
It does.
when, for the first and only time on DraftKings, someone is saying, in goal, I've gone for Sunderland's Vito Manoni. And the caveat is because I couldn't afford John Ruddy. 3.8 thousand, 5.6. Hey, it's a bit of fun.
That's what it is. DraftKings is a bit of fun, and Andy's having a bit of fun. And you know what? It's always good to get some stuff like this, just as Andy's doing. And I'm looking forward to now. Andy, he's let us in on his strategy. Andy, who are your defenders? Who are your defenders? Because I'm excited now.
Now, defending is a broad word. Right? I've gone for the Palace powerhouse of Scott Dan at 2.6 thousand, 5.3 points. But I have gone for some fullbacks as well that are worth a little bit more. I've gone for Pat Van Arnold of Sunderland, 3.9 thousand, averages 8.4 points. I'm expecting Sunderland they have to go for it. And as I did say in last week's show, you've got to go for players now that have something to play for. This is where the performances come out. And then I've also gone for Olsen of Norwich, 3.1 thousand.
Oh, you're going to have a lot of money left over.
It's not easy. What isn't easy is when you play this way is to actually spend the 50,000. That's the hard part. But yeah, so Olsen is my defender.
Wow, he's going to have enough money to take his mom out for lunch. That's great. Jamie, too bad DraftKings, it doesn't work that way. You actually don't have money to take your mom out for lunch. If you don't spend the money, it gets lost. Jamie, how about your defender?
I've been just looking down my team. I've got a lot of Sunderland players. Anyway.
Oh, okay. You
I've got
chose a strategy.
Jan Kirchhoff from Sunderland, who plays as a defensive midfielder, but is a defender on DraftKings. So, and he gets a lot of tackles, a lot of interceptions. I think it's going to be a bit of a battle in midfield. He's a bit of a powerhouse. So yeah, 2,500. Very cheap.
All right.
Then Aaron Cresswell. They're playing Palace, West Ham, keep a lot of clean. Last three home starts, has 10 fantasy points per game, and likes to bomb forwards. And Palace is shit at the back. So yeah, Cresswell. And then Phil Bardsley. He's becoming a bit of a fixture for me in my lineups. Always gets points for me, gets assists, and he's playing like Glenn Johnson without being Glenn Johnson, which is great for fantasy football.
It's great for everyone.
Great for everyone.
It's very ethereal.
Maybe he might get in the England squad. You never know, even though he's Scottish.
All right. How about yourself, Tyrone? Who's your defenders?
I'm furious, guys.
All right.
I'm furious, and I'll tell you why. DeAndre Yedlin's gone up to $3,000 from the steady 2.8, and you know, it's been very underwhelming. But you know what? I'm going to give you another chance, DeAndre Yedlin. You're back in my team. That's right. You're only 3,000, should be cheaper. But with an average, a disappointing average of 4.7 points per game, I think it's time. It's time, DeAndre. You've got to prove a point. Your home club, Tottenham, are watching. I like to think they're watching.
No way he's going to get anyone.
There's no, but they own him, and they've loaned him out to Big Sam, and Big Sam's playing him, and he's steadily getting there. He's a little American terrier, and I think he's going to do good. We'll see, right?
Fourth choice now. We've got another Kyle Walker ahead of him. We've got a right back called Kyle Walker-Peters.
Well, you know what, really?
Yeah,
To be honest.
we've got two Kyle Walkers.
Well, let me tell you this then. He's got a lot to do then, isn't he? And it starts now. So I've gone with Yedlin. Next to him, I've gone for my new favourite fullback at Watford. I've gone for Nyom. We like Nyom. He played really well, actually, against Stoke. He averages 7.3 a game, which is great. He's still quite cheap at 3.1, and he does really get up the pitch. I was quite impressed with him, more so than Aki. So Aki, you're out for now. Nyom's in. And finally, there's three great people from Stockwell. There's Roger Moore, there's me, and there's Nathaniel Klein. And he's in my team, guys. He played very, very well for England on Friday. I think we'll all agree.
I thought he was awful in the first half, but anyway.
But the second half, Yeah. Think about it. I'm a big fan of Nathaniel Klein, and he's playing against Spurs. This is a game, hopefully he'll prove himself. He's quite cheap, he's 3.6 thousand. We'll see what he does in front of the Sky cameras.
Ooh, raising the eyebrows of Andy there. All right, let's move to the midfield. Jamie, take us through your midfield. Who you got?
Robbie Brady from Norwich. I haven't picked him for ages because his price has been very high. Still quite high at 5,800, but has averaged 7 crosses per game. Got a very rare assist last week, and yeah, I think Norwich are going to do well against Newcastle. So after that, I've got Willian from Chelsea. They're playing Aston Villa. That's all I need to say.
I loved him in the Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
And
Idrissa Gueye from Villa. I think he gets a lot. Just hear me out on this.
Yeah, come on, explain, sir.
He gets a lot of his interceptions and tackles, and he's very cheap. There's stats that people never look at in terms of like, I'll pick players that tackle a lot. And I think this week he'll be very busy because it's Chelsea.
It's like 3,700 or something like that?
Yeah, 3,700. He's had above 10 DraftKings points for his last 3 home games, I think, and he'll be busy here, won't he? Like, he's going to be busy against Fabregas and their strikers. He'll need to help out the defence because they're all rubbish. So,
Andy, who's in your midfield? Who you got?
I've gone for Yannick Bolasie because he's my favourite Palace player, and I have to stick to the rules. So there's no place for Dimitri Payet from that game, and I couldn't afford him anyway.
Your rules, mate. Your rules. Break them.
And of course. How could a week go by without one of us picking Wahbi Khazri? Well, that isn't going to happen because I've picked him this week. Wahbi Khazri is in my midfield. Then, of course, the English Xabi Alonso, John-Joe Shelvey, reunited with the man that brought him to Liverpool, and finally gets to play with John-Joe. And I think Rafa will be more excited about that than anyone. So John-Joe Shelvey for me.
Bold strategy. Tyrone, who's your midfield? Who you got?
I love your reasoning, mate. I have to say, it's brilliant. My midfield, I've got sexy midfield, guys. Can't lie. It's the anti-Davies. Because I've gone for Antonio of West Ham. He's playing Palace. He's been playing brilliant of late. He's starting to average over 10 points a game. 5.2 thousand. Cost. He's cheaper than Robbie Brady, and yet he's 2 times the player. So I've gone for him. Yeah, he is. He's way better than Brady. Robbie Brady, you're all right, mate, but you're no Antonio. You're not. Look where you are, look where he is. Anyway, so I've gone for him. I've gone for him. He's going to have a good day against Palace. I've also gone for Cesc Fabregas. Did not let me down. Against West Ham.
He scored a lot of points.
Scored me a load of points. It's like all of a sudden, he's looking at the Euros. He's thinking, I've got to really start putting some traction in my performances. And I think he wants to stay at Chelsea next year. He's playing that way at the moment. So I'm going for him. I reckon he's going to have a lovely day at Villa Park. And finally, I've gone for, the second best player in the league. I've gone for Dimitri Payet. Why not? Again, he's playing Palace.
All right.
I'm not going to disagree.
You can't.
Let's move up forwards. Andy, get me through your forwards. What do you got? 'Cause I'm excited about your team. What happened?
Okay. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes, you set rules for yourself, and they can only end up one way, and that is to have 2 Sunderland players in your strike force. I've got Jermaine Defoe, right? And also, for the first and only time ever on DraftKings, have somehow managed to end up with Franco Barini.
Wow.
Seriously, I had to end up with Franco Barini. It was Franco Barini. Then you're looking down the strikers, thinking, I don't know who you are. No, I'm not picking you. No way. It really did get that desperate.
You really have picked him
over
I really have picked him. Is it?
This isn't a comedy angle. You picked Franco Barini.
It got that desperate.
Got him over Adebayor.
Adebayor? Yeah. I couldn't even find Adebayor.
That's why we have a
couldn't
You
certain.
were blinded by Franco.
Adebayor's gone on strike for DraftKings. I couldn't
he?
find it. No, he probably was too expensive, despite the fact. Despite the fact Franco Barini is twice the player, so and more likely to play and score. So yeah, Franco Barini and Jermaine Defoe.
All right, Jermaine Defoe, he's over $4,700, something like that. Pretty valuable.
9.3, and you know he's a half a season guy, and he's definitely the second half of the season with Jermaine. So.
All right, Jamie, take me up to your forwards. Show me someone with some value. Who you got?
Harry Kane.
Oh, there you go, the big
For
one.
anyone
Yeah.
else, he's in such good form at the moment. He's had over 30 DraftKings points per game for his last 3 games in the Premier League. It looked very, very good for England against Germany. That goal was so good. He's the best striker in the Premier League. And he's not even the most expensive this week. Aguero's more expensive than him. So, but 8,700 takes up most of my money, which means I had to pick Josh King from Bournemouth. He's been, Phobie's kind of stopped scoring now, and King has stepped in, scored a couple of goals. I think he'll really trouble City's defence. They'll let in a couple of goals. Joe Hart's not playing because he's injured. I think he's good value for 4,300.
Very good value, 4,300. Always good to look at those kind of players that are at that price. And of course, if you only have that much money, that's all you can do. Tyrone, what about your forwards? Who do you got?
Well, I went for Kane and Sturridge the other week. They both did quite well. I could only pick one of them. I had to go with finances. I've gone for Daniel Sturridge. I think, like I say, I think Tottenham are going to have a hard day at the Anfield. And I think Sturridge, yeah, he's come into his own a little bit lately. It was a good goal again the other week. And so 4.6 thousand is very, very cheap for, in my opinion, one of the best strikers in the league. So I've gone for Sturridge, and next to him, yep, I've gone with you, my friend. I've gone for Jermaine Defoe. Jermaine Defoe against lesser opposition is always a tasty proposition.
Getting Defoe on. Now, of course, there's also 2 utility players allowed to use in DraftKings to round out your lineup. Tyrone, who are your utility players that you have for this week?
Okay, I've gone for Rondon of West Brom. I think I can see West Brom scoring a couple of goals at Sunderland as well. I see it as a 2-2. Rondon is involved in everything good in that area of the pitch for Tony Pulis's boys. So I've gone for him. Again, it's quite cheap, 4.5 thousand. And then I've taken a risk. I only had 3.3 thousand left. I've gone for the England hero in Berlin. I've gone for Eric Dyer. I know he's not a winger. I know he's not a striker. But, you know, in pivotal moments, he can deliver. So I've gone for Eric Dyer.
Dyer maker. All right, Jamie, who have you got for yours?
I didn't have hardly any money left, and I've also gone for Eric Dyer.
All right, hey.
There we go.
I think his tackles, he's the best defensive midfielder in the league, in my opinion.
Yes.
He was great for England against Germany. He won't score a goal, he won't get an assist here. He'll get loads of tackles, loads of interceptions. Might concede a few fouls, but I'm willing to risk him at 3,300. The other guy, Kevin De Bruyne's back from injury for City, but also so Samir Nasri, 2,800.
2,800 for Nasri, really? Yeah.
So cheap.
Will he start?
If he starts,
That's a coup.
so cheap.
It is. 2,800 2,800 for Nasri if he does
I
start.
mean, not many people like him, but at that price, doesn't matter if you don't like him.
That's right.
Him and his weird face.
All right, Andy, how about your utilities? Who do you have?
Well, unsurprisingly, I had loads of money left for my utilities. So I've gone for Robbie Brady of Norwich, 5.8 thousand, 13.5 points a game. He's playing Newcastle. He should have some fun. We won't. Then my other utility player, again, who knew anyone would ever pick this guy, but George Wijnaldum of Newcastle. 4.8 thousand, advertises worth 9.4 a game. Who knows? He is a good player. He should be playing a lot better than he is. Perhaps Benitez can put a rocket up his arse and get a performance out of him.
Well, you've heard it from all these guys. Let's take a look at their rosters to see how everyone's lined up. First, let's start with Andy, who looks like he's probably got about 30,000 left in his budget. Names, I'm not going to pronounce a lot of them. I know Defoe.
The Expendables.
Yes, it pretty much is. It's like the last end of credits you'd see in a movie. All right, let's move on then to next Jamie. Jamie's got some good value there. Highest price player, William. You've got Kane at 8,700. Not that expensive either. And lastly, we'll take a look at Tyrone's. Tyrone's, again, he's got to sort of balance out here. Highest place being Payet, who seems to be good, averaging 19.8 fantasy points per game. You can make your own lineup. Go to DraftKings.co.uk. It's EPL weekend, week 32 of the Premier League. Get in. Welcome to the big time.